No, then I said, well, he knows, then I seek out, pardon, then I seek out, I think I'll just follow on to it next year. Then I'll have all the numbers.
It'll now be 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you all stand and join me in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Okay. Yep. Actually, one extra set of minutes on there I didn't remove. Just the 3 sets, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the department head meetings for June 13th. We have the department head meetings for July 11th and the regular meeting minutes for July 17th. Could I have a motion, please? Approve.
Motion.
A motion from trustee Rittenhouse, a second.
I'll second.
Second from trustee Zay. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Privilege of the floor. Mr. Bondi, you got.
Okay. I had submitted to the Jumbo trustees and even the mayor, papers on correction of the sidewalk. I've been blessed, Scott, I know he's been busy as the devil, but he had a crew down there today and they knocked down the sharpness, the depth of the riser on the sidewalk. It may work, it may not, it may be temporary, it may be just what we want. And based on that, there's not much else I can say. Thank you for getting something done. And I just have to look at it and see how.
Like you say, Scott's very busy and keeps his men pretty busy, and so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's it, huh?
That's it.
Well, I was waiting for you to get after us big time. Okay, just have a quick comments. First item is the telephonic comments regarding the Griffith Allen Street, shouldn't be St. Allen, it's the Griffith Allen Street property. Tammy had sent out, or actually hand-delivered letters to 14 people, properties down there. Yep. We got 5 answers back. One person has withdrawn his objection to the change. This is all for the change of zoning for that parcel along Allen Street. Used to be the old junkyard cement property and what have you. He said that his concerns centered around the soil itself, and so if anything would happen there, it would have to go through a seeker anyway, and at that time they would have a public hearing. So he'll wait if anything develops down there. I had one person who came back to us with a yes, actually spoke to Tammy, and we had 3 other people call the office downstairs, which were all no's. So, one because he's trying to sell his property. The other one was because he just doesn't want to see any more development down in there. And he doesn't actually back up to it. And I think the third person really didn't have, he was just objecting to it. Didn't have a real reason for it. I think Megan took that call. So we'll be getting to that item down the list a little ways. Just to let you know that that's where we stand. I have a meeting on August 27th with Heidi Bugman, Bill Bacon, Kate Morrison, and there's one other lady, I didn't have her name, to discuss a farm market here in the downtown area. That would be in addition to the one that's being operated on Fridays down on the airport property. This one would more than likely be a Saturday farm market, Saturday morning. And let's see, still haven't heard a thing from the governor about the DRI award. However, Central Islip and Saranac Lake have joined Auburn as 3 of the 10 that were selected. We're still waiting. You know, I talked with Bill Bacon today. He hasn't heard anything more either. I handed out Nice Bob tickets for everybody, courtesy of the Nice Bob committee. Mike, did you see yours over there? Those are complimentary tickets. I'll be working down there, so if I got 2 extra here then, if anybody wants to use those. And let's see. Okay, we got a thank you from the Chalk Walk folks, Artwork folks, and Art Fest for both Scott or for, I guess it was Scott and the chief's work, getting Main Street cleaned up and ready for the festival they had here a couple weeks ago. And last but not least, I have an agreement here that I haven't run by John yet. I just got it here the other day. It's for access agreement, and I don't really think half of this applies to us. It's for the old Nice Egg property down there on Ocean Street. There are a couple of wells down there that they use for monitoring the contaminants in the ground. Those are actually in the state right-of-way, so I don't see where they need our permission. They should go to the DOT. But they do have 2 they want to put in on Battle Street. And since that's the way the water flows, I just want to make sure the agreement is a common and acceptable one legally. And if it is, then your approval, I will then sign it. So I'll leave that for now. And that's pretty much for my comments and correspondence. Go to legislative, and we'll start with the village clerk. How's it all going down there? We got
Action list, we don't have any updates since the last meeting. Nothing's been marked off and nothing's been added.
Okay. And our new deputy clerk is on the job. Seems to be doing well. No complaints yet from her or from you.
Correct.
So I guess everybody's happy.
Yep, she's worked with us for a few days and, she's picking up what we're asking her to do, and she'll be here again tomorrow, and we'll just keep training.
Yep.
She's doing good.
Good. Which brings us to the next item. I need the approval of the board to provide her with a cash drawer. Would you like to explain that a little bit more? How much money we're looking at, 100?
I use 80 in mine, and it works out, so I figured we could do 80 there. So that way she's the only one in office, or if someone else is busy, she can do cash transactions, and actually post the payments for us. In the software, we all work on our own usernames. If we don't, we used to work on the same firm together, we don't do that anymore, as part of our new practices, so I'd just like to get her set up with one.
Is that your regular procedure now, is to have her have that?
Yes.
Well, we've already approved the regular procedure, right? So we wouldn't have to approve the cash drawer, would we?
Yeah, just because it's like a petty cash, I'm gonna be taking the money out of the bank, and it'll just be recorded as like a petty cash type of thing.
And you balance that at the end of the day, right?
We do, yeah.
Yes, Scott?
We talked, actually it was approved to do a petty cash a long time ago, and I don't think there's been said, the guys always ask, when they're mailing out things to the DEC, things like that, just to have that petty cash box.
Right, yeah, we never
Never did.
ended up doing that, because it's very limited what we can prepay for anyways, so we just do checks, and then we go to the post office and we put that.
That's a prepaid.
Just a simpler accounting, but we did approve it once, but then when we looked into it, there's not a whole lot we can.
Just the guys don't like using their money, waiting.
No, they just have to have the office, have us, or a check. Tammy does it every day, and it works out fine, right? And then we can put them on a check. Okay. Because it would be the same thing if it was petty cash, they'd still have to come to us, and there would be a longer process to that because we're dealing with cash and dealing with the
As long as
check.
you're willing to do a check, that's fine with me.
Yep.
Not using their own money. Okay.
I'll
So,
make a motion to move forward so she can do the cash drawer.
yeah, motion from trustee Rittenhouse to set up a cash drawer for the deputy clerk. Barb LaForce. Well, that'll be second from trustee Zay.
Do we have to make that, can we just make that openly that there's a cash drawer for the deputy clerk? That way if she doesn't work out, we don't have to approve it for the next one if there's another one?
Yeah.
Now that we run
Yeah,
it,
you
we'll just
won't
do it
have
that
to.
we're running one, so the motion would just be
Yeah,
that we
just-
run a cash
yeah,
drawer
just
for
leave-
the deputy clerk
Yeah.
position.
Just leave the name off.
I just didn't want
Yep, understood.
to end this in.
That's okay. It's your motion. Any discussion, or further discussion? Okay, trustee Labar.
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse.
Aye.
Trustee Zay.
Aye.
Trustee Nagel. And the mayor's an aye. Okay, public safety updates. Trustee Zay.
Amy,
Yes, hi.
start it off.
Yeah, my reports, there's no modifications to the reports. There's no new business coming into town. You guys can read that was good. Good job. I don't know if any new business is coming into the town. There's nothing on the planning board's agenda for tonight. And the only thing sitting on the CBA's agenda is, the CBA chairman himself, wants to build a carport, and he's going to be too close to the neighboring property line, so he needs a variance. That's all I got right now. Obviously, you can see CASA is underway. Walls are supposed to be set on walls are supposed to be set on the new portion starting tomorrow. The renovation portion is already drywalled out. Electrical inspection, plumbing inspection, installation drywalled out, so that's taken. And the latest update for McDonald's is shut down September 15th for demolition, and then that would be 90 days.
I received a email from a resident that said that started on the wind farm ordeal again. Did someone from the wind farm, someone that come in and ask you a bunch of questions about wind farms?
No, nobody's asked me about wind farms in the entire time I've been here. That's 7.5 years.
I was contacted by Mr. Abbott, who said that he's been in talk with these. Oh no, he has wind solar, I should say, not.
Solar, he's been in to talk to me, yes.
Okay, my bad. I knew it was green energy.
Solar, yeah.
And the way Mr. Abbott advised me was that it was just shot down. I said, well, I don't know anything about it, but I would ask the question.
You want to put a solar farm down where the farm market is. It's not allowed for zoning. I told him he could approach the zoning board of appeals, and he said, no, you should just change the zoning so I can. I said, no, you can't just change zoning. I said, I can't. You can appeal to this board to change the zoning if you want it. And that was like 6 months ago, and I've never heard anything from him. So he can appeal to this board to change the zoning, but then it would actually be spot zoning, so I think you guys wouldn't fly with it. Because it would be the only light industrial piece of property in this whole side of the village. And you're not allowed to do that because it's currently zoned residential. And he hasn't ever come in and got an application to apply to the zoning board of appeals.
Okay. He said it was
And
like
that's
the
what-
answer to get back to him.
And that's what I told him 6 months ago.
He sent me one that was like just a couple days ago.
Yep. So, anything else? Nick, you look like you got a question.
Am I supposed to have a question?
You look like you did.
Well, I am going to ask you a question, but I wasn't going to do it until,
You can tell, you look like.
I wasn't going to do it yet. You know, I wanted to know,
Open the door.
when the Elm Street proposal comes up for discussion and potential vote, you know, what's the recommendation from the code officer?
I don't have one, I'm not allowed to recommend.
What's your position on it?
I'm not allowed to recommend.
Okay, what's your position on it as far as any meeting code, what the potential use? Do you have any concerns? Okay, thank you. You answered my question. I know eventually I get around to the right question.
Yeah, I don't have any concerns with the code enforcement office. I can't tell you
I understand that.
yay or nay because that's a violation of state law. And I don't have any
I
concerns.
wanted to know what was the, okay, you answered my question. That's all matters. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay,
Gentlemen,
Okay, I'll go first, and then I have Bill and Krista, and everybody knows Greg one too. they want to speak on behalf of. But for me, nothing's changed my report. Still the same, just we're up to over 200 calls now, including this month. So we keep it busy. The Fire Prevention Committee met. We are going to have an open house on October 13th. We're going to do the Main Street activities this year. We're going to go back to the open house, see how that goes. And I got the schedule set up for the schools, and have to meet with them in September, and we'll go over that stuff. But besides that, nothing's changed in the report. I don't believe there's any updates on the new truck. No.
What seems to be the holdup? Because last year when we agreed it was going to be done, the chassis would be in June, and here we are late August.
Well, they delayed it a little. I'm sorry, when I talked to him, he said the truck probably wouldn't even go into production until January or February in order to meet the June deadline. So he said they probably went ahead and deferred delivery of that chassis until that time. So
Okay.
he's still just waiting for them to get closing check date.
All right.
That won't affect, there was a cheaper payment for delivery early, correct?
No, it won't. I've expressed that to him, that you guys really want to make that payment, and he'd be very upset if we missed that opportunity. So.
That's really what we're worried about.
And like you said, that's, if the truck that we're getting, you said they're only looking at 3-month build, so that's why the chassis got deferred. As far as they could, so. That's it, so.
Okay,
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Afternoon. I was recently elected second vice president of the Western New York Bound Firms Association.
Congratulations.
President Greg Gore and Chris Snyder. We're looking to host a convention here in 2021, the fourth Thursday, July 2021. And I would request the board to host such convention, and we're here to answer any questions or concerns you may have.
Go ahead.
I just know what the conventions entail, and I'm wondering about the motorized drill competition. Would that be run in Dansville, or would that be run in a different spot? Or
The Western Girls Platoon Association and Western New York Bound Firms Association.
they don't do that anymore?
They do not. Okay. They host theirs on their own. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say we always block off Elizabeth Street.
I haven't talked to Billy about it. Rick Bennett did approach him about doing an old fashioned, but he hasn't even brought it to their drill team yet, so it should be way down the road. That might be something. And we can probably work something out in front of the road, I'm sure, down there. Or maybe down to that day, just because, there's no trucks.
Bearcat Park, or where are you?
That's where we like to have it, yes. We got the pavilion there, we got fire prevention there, or we do have some issues of how we're going to set the electric up, that something to start happening.
Will there be any monetary involvement on the village's part, other than just saying, go ahead and, the approval for having it down there at Babcock Park?
We're not requesting any monetary development. Charlie might have to have a couple extra guys on that weekend to help out. They can make it going on, but no. Use of the pavilion.
Which month was it again?
July.
And they still have city tax, right?
That's, they still do, Michael, but it's certainly not like what we used to.
Yeah, if we're gonna use it for that type of
Yes,
thing.
basically now, we're bringing campers. I think we've done about 40 campers this year. And I think we've only hit 5 or 7. Yeah. And
2020?
to, see, we had, I think, 40 in 94. Last time.
That last time, 94?
Yeah, last time. David Wolf.
Vividly. All right, would I make a motion that we move forward with the convention for Western New York Firemen's in 2021?
I have a motion from trustee Rittenhouse to approve the fire department's request to host the Western New York Volunteer Firemen's Convention here in July of 2021. Do I have a second? Second from trustee Nagel. Discussion.
I would just say keep us in the loop.
Well,
Is
and
planning and-
I will keep you, better, like, attend the monthly meeting.
Let the police department know.
Obviously, as we get closer, we'll keep you more detail. Greg Howard is the general chairman, his co-chairman is Chris Kraus-Snyder. I'm all set.
Perfect.
Any other questions, concerns, comments? Hey, trustee Nagel. No. Vote time.
Vote on the convention.
Aye.
Trustee Zay.
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse.
Aye.
Trustee Labar.
Aye.
And the mayor's an aye. Here's your green light.
Thank you very much.
You're
Remember
welcome.
last time, he said, we'll never have another one.
You're not using one?
Yeah, well, time heals all wounds. Was that a ruckus one?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was a bad one before that.
There was one of them.
There was one before that. The one when I worked here, I don't think was.
There was one in 80.
Yeah, the one when I worked here wasn't. It was alright. There's
hard.
Next Thursday at 5, I know. Whichever one happened after 85 was
That is interesting enough. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember it being terrible.
Nah.
But it was a couple of years ago. Just gonna throw
I
it
know,
out there.
everybody's matured.
Well, gotten older. Chief, you're just in time. I think we've hit everybody else but you.
I sent an email out there late this afternoon, and I don't know if I can run down through what's on the list if anybody had a chance to read it. So let's see. First Friday event in September, they'd like to block off Auction Street between Elizabeth and Main Street. I'm not sure what the activity is yet. They're going to block that off. So that's September 7th. Shouldn't be a big deal from my standpoint. Probably the typical 4 hours, 3 hour, 4 hour thing, from 4 to 7 or something like that. Saturday, there's a motorcycle club wants to have parking spaces from the theater to CB Bar and Grill. I asked them to go out and speak with the different business owners. I checked today, they had, the only ones I didn't get is the businesses that I'd be able to verify with the businesses that run later in the afternoon, like the theater and CBs. The other businesses, Dogwood, or the florist shop and such that, they were all good with it. So there shouldn't be a big deal. It's only for a couple hours, from like 11 to 1 when they do the registration. What else? We got a police car in the inclusion shop, getting repaired. Too much, what do I want to say? Dual duty driving and working carpenter at the same time doesn't work apparently. So we've got a heavy car there. We'll wait for the estimate on that, so that we can contact the insurance. I know there's some things on that as far as to get that fixed. Voting schedule's all set for Labor Day weekend, we're all set there. No progress yet on an applicant's background check, that's a little tied up covering hours for one of the officers that have to be baby. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Which is the other property.
It's really interesting.
I didn't get a chance. I never read until I got here about the property, so I didn't get a chance to drive by that property and look it over.
Oh, yeah, so that's on there, so just when you get a chance to peek. I don't think there's anything else.
That's a 17 Pine.
Officer Mills is up and running.
Oh, yeah. Officer Mills has been in for a couple days of training. She's down to the shore. She had to, her other part-time job, she had a court hearing today, so she wasn't able to be here today, but she's taking advantage of that to run down to the city, get her uniforms ordered. She got a list of what she needs, so she's getting over today.
Should back here day after tomorrow.
She had range already?
No, well, she had another department in our budget.
Who does that, Bingham? Range?
Yeah. So I'm hoping to schedule that so we can do it all again. Because, like most places, you try to shoot twice a year, but limited opportunities to get everybody together, you usually get it in once. So I'm just trying to do a second one here in September sometime. So everybody has another opportunity to shoot. We'll be here for that as well. Heather should be back to work. She's been off for 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's pretty much all the time. Busy, but lack of business like always.
Do you guys have a computer use policy when you're driving the car? In that place?
I mean, what they're told, what they're told is, the guys are gonna run plates and things like that when they drive. They're asked not to. So, suggested strongly that it's tough to do 2 things at once. You talk on the radio all the time, but if you have the radio, you're usually plugging up in front of your face. Whereas, as we all know, we run car computers, it's off to your right-hand side. Sometimes you have a tendency to lean the way you're working. If everything leans, that's what happens sometimes.
Any update to rules and regs?
No.
Bueller? No, just as long as everyone's here, all departments are here except the ambulance. If there's an accident with one of the village vehicles, I would think that an email should go out as soon as possible thereafter to let at least the board know that something had occurred. Because generally, we take calls on it or whatever, people stop by or there's comments or something made, or you find it on social media. So just if in the future, if there's any accidents, at least, hey, you can investigate them all you want, but just a kind of little heads up would be great. As soon as possible, just because, that good news doesn't travel fast, but bad news travels like wildfire.
Do we know anyone at the Dansville collision that could maybe get that car put somewhere?
It's
A
inside.
little less visible?
It's inside. It's also, I sent you the estimate, I don't know if you got it, it might be total.
Yeah. How many miles are on that?
83,000.
Here you go, I'm gonna say 80.
So what year is that one? Say 16, 15, 14?
We got sick of people stopping out front, so.
Well, thank you.
We do appreciate it.
I'm easy to reach, someone could have called me and said, hey, can you get.
Well, it's too late now, it was already out.
Yeah, it's out.
It's already there. The share button's easy.
Yeah.
Do you have quotes for new cars? Because I know we were looking
I have a
at,
couple, but I want to get a couple more.
because I think if that one's gone,
Down to
the sounds
2.
of it, and the looks of it.
I might put that other one back on the road, put a battery in it, and
It's
run
around 12,000 right now.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna clean it all up and just get it with some spray paint to cover up the really ugly spots.
Away we go.
Just in case.
What's the estimate on how long it's gonna take to get it fixed and back?
Well, if it's total.
It's not coming back.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
total?
I mean, from our estimating, it's at an 83% loss. I don't know.
That'd be pretty high.
I mean, different insurance companies go to 100, but on a
Okay.
vehicle that's not that old, and there's probably more damage, the right front strut tower,
I've
the
seen it
apron.
firsthand.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I guess we're just gonna be waiting on an insurance company to come look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
You can feel free to attend all the meetings you'd like. We do very good information.
That was nice. Worked out well.
I don't know if I want that kind of information though.
And in the future, that you bring another one.
Yeah.
Slide that tarp over that or something.
It
That's all I
happens
got.
on Sunday, right?
We don't know.
I don't know, honestly, no. I think
Yeah.
consider Saturday, it's been a long week.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Thanks for coming in.
Sorry. I got notified, and I didn't think about it again until Monday morning. I think we were talking to you and talking to the mayor. Was it on my list of highlights? There's a lot of other highlights, but that was one.
Well, we were worried it was gonna cause another accident, 'cause literally people were on their, like today, someone was on their cell phone driving
course they were.
pictures of it, so it was like, well, let's move this bar now.
See the irony in that?
I was sad.
Distracted driver and
Still.
a distracted wreck.
Oh, my Lord.
You're gonna have accidents, you're gonna have cars on the road.
Okay. I think we've heard enough of that. Anything else for public safety, Trustee Zay?
I don't think so.
Why don't we move on then to budget, finance, and audit?
All right, we have no modifications. We are quite early in the budget year. So special billings, wastewater treatment capital project, composting none. Community development block grants none. Home grant, Cassie Underwood for Don Barron, 3 Fulton Street, $22,300. We'll add in the regular bills, the general, paid checks, 17044, 17045, 17107 through 17121 in the amount of $21,337.59, and we audited checks in the amount of $100,761.27. Under water, paid checks 1545 through 1548 in the amount of $8,272.01. And we audited checks in the amount of $20,174.49. And under sewer, we paid checks 1345 through 1348 in the amount of $11,802.11. And we audited checks in the amount of $39,688.10. A motion to pay the home grant as well as the bills for the month.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Rittenhouse to approve the home grant, Cassidy, the payment anyway, to Cassidy and Underwood, and the general water and sewer bills. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Trustee Labar. Discussion? Trustee Nagel?
Aye.
Trustee Zay?
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Labar?
Aye.
And the mayor's an aye.
Under ban and bond payments, 9/23/18 to the USDA Rural Development for water storage tank, $11,000 principal, $4,725 interest, and also under the MedX billing accounts, Livingston County EMS, in the amount of $4,950. There was no patient reimbursement. Livonia EMS, $225. MedX invoice 2018-8, the amount of $1,794. Village of Dansville, the payment of $6,395.85, and the Dansville ambulance, a payment of $7,817.14. Motion to pay the banded bond payments as well as the MedX billing account payments.
A motion for Trustee Rittenhouse to pay the band bond payments, which is the USDA Rural Development for the water storage tank, as well as the MedX payments. Do I have a second?
That's second.
Second from Trustee Zay. Discussion? Trustee Labar?
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Zay?
Aye.
Trustee Nagel?
Aye.
And the mayor's aye. Public Works, Water and Sewer, Trustee Nagel.
Okay, Scott?
The only thing I have for sewer is over on Clay Street. When we started working over there was a little depression in the road next to the manholes. And this weekend, it actually developed a hole. Charlie called me Saturday.
I don't remember Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yesterday we did a little investigation and the groundwater is like entering that pipe like you can't believe. I remember talking to Ryan Davis a couple times and he said, he always mentioned that Clay Street, he figured the creek was, the water was entering that pipe. We put the camera in there and what we could see, it looked fine by the manhole, so I don't know why the road's suddenly right there. But 400 feet up the street is another manhole that's not, it's like the flush bank, so you can't really put a camera in. And it's crumbling, falling apart, so we're gonna have to dig that up, put a new manhole there, and then go down the line and see, but I'm sure it's just creek water, but I mean, it's roaring down through there. That's probably been that way forever. Because if you go down on Pine Street, you can see it coming down through there. I just never looked in right there. So, another issue that popped up, you know, what it is, what it is.
Yeah, you should know Clay Street pretty well, is that end of it?
Yeah. So, that's really about it, water and sewer, everything's pretty good there. Streets. We've got a lot to do there on the streets as far as paving. So we got to finish Main Street. I put together a little to-do list. We can do that another time.
Still haven't heard from the Army Corps of Engineers, I take it. Now, who filled out that permit? The MRB?
Right. It's definitely there. They assigned a person to it.
Okay.
So hopefully, we'll hear something another week or so. I'll just call and find out. And then tomorrow when we're at MRB, we can ask those that they've heard anything back. Yeah, hopefully we get it sometime in September. It would be nice. And not wait till too late in the season.
Going down together tomorrow, or you want it done? Okay.
Unless you want to. No, you have to be there at 1:30, right?
Yeah.
If there's time, I would really like to, I know Norm was over, Danny's went over, you went over, but Mike, Dick, behind, what is it, 535, number 7, I believe is play, with the big decks on the back of the house. We're into their property probably 25 feet. I would like to extend it down across their property. Mike will allow us to go in his driveway.
Extend what?
The blocks.
Oh.
Because, and the reason I say that is the next house down, which I don't have any plans going any further than that, that would be a good stopping point at this point. The next house has some pretty good sized trees out back, and they don't want us anywhere near those trees or cutting the trees, so, you know, that'll be another deal down the road.
Mike is number 7, so we wanted
9.
number 9.
So, it's about $7,500 for the blocks. We have all stone and everything, so that'd be up to you guys if you want to spend that money to do that. I would suggest, because we can get in there now through Mike's. And we've already done some damage to his driveway, a little bit more, you know, we got to fix it, so. But that way, we would be done down by their house, because we kind of went our way, and she's asked if we would do it. You know, probably a day and a half to do it. It's easy down through there, because it's straight, there's nothing, there's no sewer lines, water lines, you know, curves, and so.
You already got the machinery there.
Yep, machinery's there.
In gift blocks, because I know they were out.
Gift blocks, they're making
It's
blocks.
back.
And I, you know, it would have to be the perfect situation where it's, I get time, and it's dry. I don't get that. You know. But, you know, it's pretty hard to, without permission, to all of a sudden go over there.
So yeah,
I don't really need a vote tonight on it. I mean, we can wait till the next meeting. I'm not gonna be able to do it before that anyways. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Then if anybody wants to go over and look, they can.
Why don't we do it that way? Everybody go take a look.
Yeah, I
Get a
went
shot.
up and I can see how it grows right up there.
Well, it's
where it stops.
Yeah, the guy on the other side, I mean, he has really, the sheet metal's there, but that's it. On the other side, there's like nothing, you know what I mean? And after that point, it's not too bad down through there. It'll go quick for years, just like it is.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what, to get through that other property, they won't allow you. I don't know what you're doing. Like I said, we don't need to go through there right now. So, just leave it at that. You guys can take a look in the next meeting.
I asked whose property that is.
I'm not sure what the organization is on rental property. I'm not sure.
No, it's a 2-family rental, and it's 9 Clay Street. And I don't remember off the name right now, because I would get it wrong.
I can get the name. I'm actually going through her with caretaker.
Yeah.
I know her, I met her. They were there, they lived there, and then they were divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so back to the other project that we're doing now. We're going to get Kistner or somebody to make slabs to go across for their driveways. So I finally decided to go this route. It's going to be cheaper and I can get it done in our terms. But I need that approved because I got to send them a check. Right now, this company, there's not too many people that make them what they call a form deck. So basically, it's a corrugated steel you lay right across the floor on top of it. Right now, they're running, it's 2.5 inch form deck, but that won't do the span that we need, so we have to brace it. But right after Labor Day, they're gonna start at 3 inch. The guy said, give you the check down here, I'll put you right atop the line, so I'm hoping that week, we'll send one of our guys that's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we'll send them down and pick it up, get it back, so I can get that done. That's really all we lack now, is that steel we can pour it, and he's gotta build the rails and then be done. So,
How many of them do you need?
how many pieces?
I mean, there's the whole thing, 2,000.
The whole thing for all the form decks. Yeah, the one section's 44 feet, one's 16, one's 18.
No brainer there.
I think you should make a motion to move forward with it, we gotta do it.
Yeah. I have a motion from trustee Rittenhouse to go ahead and approve option number 1 for $2,015.
I'll second it.
Have a second from trustee Nagel. Discussion? Okay. Trustee Labar?
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Zay? Aye. Trustee Nagel? And the mayor's an aye. Okay.
How you doing, just, gotta finish her up.
Yeah.
This is just, you wanted that,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta start getting it out.
Sure.
Hold that out next time.
Just doesn't seem like there's enough hours in the day, though. No.
Trump's gonna put a few more hours in it,
And,
Remember off the top of your head what we were last month? It's about the same, isn't it?
pretty close to that. We have, I mean, with all the rain, the plant's way up. The next quarter, they're really show. Doug said we were up almost 700,000 gallons this last week per day, so that'll let it up quick. So,
We're still on hold with the I&I study, right? Did they come down here at all during any of these rains?
well, they did the dry pulls, they didn't do the wet pulls. But I haven't really heard anything on when they're coming down.
And yes, tomorrow maybe.
I didn't get the paperwork in time, but I would like to get approved for Dougie's loader down below in the compost. You know, we trade it out every year. It's already got 426 hours on it for 1 year. So it's $6,400 for the Dougie's loader at the wastewater plant. I'd like to get that approved. The little skid steer we have at our shop, that's $1,900. It's got 126 hours on it. And then our mini excavator,
That's what we have to contribute after the trade-in.
this is what we contribute to trade them on. And then our mini excavator, the one we use all the time, that's got 426 hours, but that's fun. It's gone 2 years now. I didn't trade it last year. So that's $6,400. So that's $3,200 a year. Was cheap, really. But probably shouldn't have let it, a hard hit on the budget. We could let it go 2 years, but I didn't realize we did.
Is all of this budgeted?
Yeah. But I was just getting it approved that way.
Anybody want to make a
I'll
motion?
make that motion.
Got a motion from trustee Nagel to approve the, was it three or four? Three pieces of equipment trade-in for the amounts that were noted by super.
Keep the rotation up to date.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from trustee Rittenhouse. Discussion. Oh, it's Stephanie.
Well, that's your commissioner.
Okay, well, start with you, trustee Nagel.
Aye.
Trustee Zay.
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse.
Aye.
Trustee Labar. Mayor's an aye. There you go.
The last thing I have.
I don't like your paper clips.
Don't need a decision, but
I was gonna say, why don't we get the stuff for the other meeting instead of?
because I did it tonight, like before this meeting, so I'm
Sorry. So it isn't gonna get voted on.
So this is what Norm asked for, but he called me today, and this is what he put together, Norm, so to me, it's kind of what it's professional. So you guys can just look at that, we don't need to do anything about that. This was on that camera. If you want something more, let me know.
Anything else?
The only other thing is, the guys, did a survey for me a year ago. We were talking about the sidewalk block, so today I put it together. And there's 184 homes that have the tree issue. And there's 386 blocks that need attention for the tree issue. Just to throw it out there, how big of an issue it really is.
Do you have an estimate on what that would run?
That's a
When you
lot
got a
of
spare
work.
moment, just figure that out.
But
Is there any way to factor in, like, okay, severity? So let's say there's of these blocks, but we say, okay, we can't do 384, whatever the blocks are, whatever the number is. Let's say we're going to address it over a 4-year span. Is there a way to, kind of look at it and say, okay, to fix the problem in a 4-year span, it would be X number of dollars a year so we can budget for it, rather than saying, here's our problem, because the problem isn't a new problem. This is a continuation of a problem that's forever there. So looking at it, I would say, I would want to address like a quarter of the problem this year, or like, let's say we're going to address it for next year. You address a quarter of the problem, and then that's not only that's how much work we've got to set aside time-wise, somewhere in between snowfly and snowfly. You follow what I'm saying? That's really what we want to address.
Prioritize it, like.
Well, yeah, prioritize and say, okay, we can't fix it all in 1 year. I mean, it's nothing that even if we tried to, we couldn't fix it in a year. So, I mean, I think we just look at it as more as like, okay, let's set a 4 or 5 year program to try to get back on track to get out in front of it, if at all possible. Just my take on it.
Most of them still have trees.
Also, probably 90% of the trees over there.
That's where the problem is the
But you can't go cut, that's a lot of trees.
Are those trees gonna have to probably come down shortly sometime soon?
Well, it's like your tree, I mean, the tree's, nice tree, really, I mean,
If it works out, it's a nice,
I hate to cut it down just because of the sidewalk.
but if it works out, go on the other side.
Well, what I'd like to do is go out in November, if we have time, to grind everything we can grind, and, and then look at all the other ones, and then try to put a price tag on it.
Yeah, and then just split it up over 3, 4 years, whatever you can. It's definitely not something we can fix in a year.
To secure, even that tree that took down for my wife and I last year, that sidewalk had been fixable one time or another because it was rounded out around the tree, And probably quite a few of them around the village have been done that way,
Oh, there's a lot.
But that's probably how you would fix it, is just kind of go around the tree like that.
If you don't remove the tree, then you'll be back, a few years later doing it again.
Yeah.
Trees grow.
Apparently that conversation's been brought up before. We fixed it like that once.
That it, Scott?
That's about it for me.
Okay, Parks and Rec, trustee Nagel, you got anything? How about Scott?
Parks and Rec, other than they're getting mold, even in the rain.
The only thing, Al Herrick called me today, wondered if we made a decision on Federal Park. He said there's a lot of people, he had 30 or 40 people playing, they just wondered where we're at, so I told him what the comments were, asked him to come to the meeting.
Well, the other thing too is when we're gonna fit it in. It ain't gonna be this year.
Well, we can fit it in, because it won't be us doing the project, so we have a little work. Again, it's, spending the money.
We're going to try and combine that kind of with a tennis court kind of thing. Is that the conversation we had last week or something like that?
The last conversation about tennis court was the one tennis court we have down at Babcock Park. It's in need of some maintenance work on it. It's not in bad shape. It's probably in the wrong location because it's in the shade. It gets a little mossy, slippery. But it does have a couple of cracks in it that need to be sealed. And probably a new coat on it would be fine. But, we need to think about that a little. And as far as the one over here at the skateboard park goes, the base is good, but just be a fair amount of material to go on top of it, and that would be, I wouldn't say astronomical, but very expensive. Because that has nothing. It's a great idea, but, you know, we gotta prioritize the money, what goes where. It's not a budgeted item.
Well, I understand. You know, obviously, there's some interest in this game. You said 40 people are playing probably now.
I think we should get the numbers and then take a look at budgeting it for next year. We're not going to pull it out this year. I just don't see it happening this year. Say, even though we farm it out to professionals to do it.
You're more or less looking for an answer to give them for now. No, that's a good answer, I guess.
Trying to budget it.
Give some numbers.
Well, I mean, a lot of these, I'll say it, a lot of these people come from other surrounding municipalities who maybe they would be interested in flipping in some of the money towards it.
That was brought up.
You know, I mean, people, we always come back to the village, yet it's still the people in the town of North Dansville, the people who live in the town of Sparta, the town of, you know, all these other towns, maybe them towns would kick in and contribute some money. Because, you know, the village can't just support all of it. Or, you know, fundraisers, I don't know. But right now, the budget doesn't support. They have over $7,000 to $10,000 it's going to cost to do it, correct? I mean, it's expensive.
But they, you know, maybe, like, I think we said this before, they get maybe, like you said, a fundraiser to help support it. You know, and then maybe we could back some of the fundraiser, you know, things like that.
Or somebody could go online and check out, see if there are any grants for that kind of thing. Worth a shot. There are grants for other kinds of parks and stuff, so I don't know why we couldn't take a look at that. Okay, technology. Anything? I have nothing for it, so I guess we'll just move right along.
The only thing with technology, I still can't get a no share folder or any of that stuff. So the emails didn't go, you know, I know you guys are busy, but I don't see any of the stuff that goes out just due to the fact that we were sending out by email, I can get it, but when it's on a share folder, I don't know, I'll step in and see it.
What you're sending to the share folder isn't showing up on it?
I can't get on the share folder.
No.
Yeah.
I just go back to her, well, originally I went back to her email, and then finally I just put it on one of my downloads. I get to it. Okay, if there's nothing more then under technology or energy, we'll move to unfinished business to discuss and vote on a police officer for September position. Right now, that's probably a hold, I would guess, since we don't have the background on the other one candidate. So hold that till whenever the chief can get us the information, hopefully sooner than later, with trustees or with Officer Fall leaving us here in about another month. Okay, then the new business. Okay, we have the rezoning of the Griffith Allen Street property to a light industrial. What's it now?
Was that low density residential?
That's right.
2?
R2.
LR2.
LR2. Okay. Anybody? I'll entertain a motion if somebody wants to make a motion, then we can go into discussion after we have the motion on the floor.
I had discussion, so I don't want to. Got a couple questions.
I'll make a motion.
All right, I have a motion from trustee Zay to approve the change in zoning. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, a second from trustee Nagel. Okay, now discussion. You have some questions, trustee Rittenhouse.
Yeah, well, my one concern is I know the concern with the property is and I looked it up on the internet, which shows a lot of the property lines, is the entrance on and off from Main Street. There's an entrance that runs through the property.
So Jay had already talked to Mr. Black that lives there, and he's gonna, if this goes commercial, he said he would deed the driveway to Mr. Black.
So there would
So
be,
that would just be the back lot off Allen Street. So when,
is there any way to get that in writing so that we know? Because the last thing is if we approve this, we turn around and that, I mean, what's said here is there's nothing binding, and next thing you know, you could have a commercial something go in there that would be industrial, and then the entrance would be right off of Main Street, and it could disrupt. I mean, there are 2 houses there, and I know that that's the concern. You know, and I would take it on face of what you're telling me, but
yeah.
you know what was mentioned in the last meeting. If that didn't happen, and another buyer comes in and buys it up, then our conversation is really a moot point, and we're back to having that actually now extends up to Main Street. So it's not like it's just a straight across the back of those properties. There's a section of that that runs to Main Street, and I think that that's my hold up on it, and due to the fact that unless that's in writing, that, I mean, if they want to.
I don't know what him and Jay and him basically had a handshake deal. After Jay sold part of the parcel to Agway, he went to Mr. Black and said, I will give this to you. Not sell it, I will give this to you. So, I would have to ask Jay
Which
about that.
Mr. Black, Paul Black died.
The son?
The son,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Mrs. Black.
Okay, young
He
Paul.
talked to Amanda Schuster and Paul.
Okay.
And that's my problem now,
Right
is
now,
that I don't really know, and pretty soon you could have an entrance to something that extends right off Main Street,
Right.
and
Right now, the property has a Main Street address.
Exactly.
Because of that driveway. So, as soon as, if that deed happens, I need to know as soon as possible, because then we have to readdress it through 911 to an Allen Street address.
which is easy enough, but there's an entrance. I mean, I looked it up on it, like I said, Country Internet will show you everything. Because I was under the understanding that was like a right-of-way, but a way that the mapping shows that property extends to Main Street, so we're technically not just changing the zoning on an Allen Street, we're actually changing the zoning on a Main Street. And so for that reason, until that was taken care of, me as a board member, I can't support that, because I think that you're actually changing something that's right in the middle of other properties. It's not like, and I see by looking at it, it shows on, topography, it would show, well, look, you're kind of changing Allen Street here, but we're really not. We're changing Main Street and an entrance in and out of Main Street. That's my hold up with the property. I mean, once a gas station, not that a gas station is going there, but now you could put a gas station in, or whatever, something out there, and just say, well, we're going to just put this driveway out through here and put it, and now here we end up with something that isn't really what you're visioning. Not to say that it would, but I would love to see that deal done to make this property technically an Allen Street property, so we're adjusting Allen Street. And I wouldn't have known that had I, like I said, when I looked it up, it shows that property is the owner of the Main Street entrance. So now you guys get it up for you. You guys understand what I'm saying? I mean, if that deal can get done, I don't have any issue with it, other than that. Otherwise, I have no issue with that going to, because it would match up through there. You've got businesses, you've got Agway, it's kind of that area. But it's just not if that part can get taken care of, then I wouldn't have any issue with it changing that a bit and vote in favor of it. And I'm only one vote, but I mean, to me, that's a pretty big.
Can we amend the motion to make it contingent upon the written agreement? That
Why
Mr.
don't we
Griffith
just
will
table the motion? Don't have to vote
table
on it
until
until we have something more concrete.
Talk to Jay about that.
Yeah, there's a way to get a written thing.
And I don't know if you can do it, if you can amend the motion so that we show that we're in good faith that that's taken care of, we wouldn't then go, oh, never mind. So I don't have any issue with amending a motion based upon the completion of
That's
that.
what he was just concerned with. He's like, I'm not gonna just give the blacks my property and then, oh, well, this can't go commercial.
Well, so I don't have any issue with,
Right. You know what I'm saying?
with doing it that way, so that contingent upon the completion of that being taken care of, however it is legally, so that it shows faith on our side, but I don't want to say, yeah, let's move forward with it, and then it doesn't happen on the back end, and it puts the people who live in the front into a, you know, a different, because otherwise, I mean, you're zoning right in the middle of everything, so, I mean, if it shows good faith, I wouldn't have any issue amending.
Okay, I would then entertain a motion to amend the original motion to include that information in it, that would be contingent upon the straightening out of that parcel that cuts through the drive.
The successful transfer of ownership
Yep,
to the blacks
yep.
and demonstrate that that's occurred.
Robert,
So you making the motion?
I could amend the motion, you know, I didn't make it, I could, if that's.
Oh, no, you can, anybody can amend the motion.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be the original person.
Then, yes, I am.
Okay, there's already a second, maybe trustee Zach.
I second that.
Okay, well, I guess he did. Okay, we have a motion and a second from trustee Rittenhouse, motion being from trustee Labar, to amend trustee Zay's original motion. Any discussion on the amending motion?
You understand what we're saying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, as long as it's gonna happen.
so you're saying that it would go commercial then, if
Would
we
be
have
approved
that
once
in.
Well, we have to still vote on the original one with that amendment to it.
Okay.
Right, that's what
So,
But right
you're
now
saying
we-
transfer of ownership though, so like, I don't think, like, so, I don't think he's gonna be like, okay, I'm giving you this, I think it would be more like, I will give you this if you go, if you can go commercial on it.
So the way that this
Like,
motion
if
is
he
set up.
wrote a letter and him and Mr. Black or whoever, Amanda Schuster signed it, and it was agreed upon
Mhm.
that if this goes commercial zoning, that this will be yours.
Okay.
No, that's not how the motion is actually
That's
stated.
not- no,
The
it's not
motion
how-
is stated basically upon transferring ownership of that parcel,
Okay.
then it would automatically become, the motion to have this rezoned, automatically at that point,
Right.
this takes effect. So an agreement means nothing.
Okay.
Transfership of ownership. So upon completion of their closing on that property, this motion takes effect and it's commercial.
Correct.
And
Okay.
not until
All right.
that point.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So no agreement, it's actual transfer. So there would
Okay.
be there would be no future votes on this,
We
it would
just
take
need
effect.
proof of the closing and
Yes.
something from.
and it's automatically
Okay,
done.
alright.
But just an agreement means nothing because them are not, they're not binding
Legally
you
binding,
back
okay.
out, so.
Alright.
Yeah, no, it'd be, like you said, complete transfer of ownership. And this automatically, then the board, at that point, even though we're not there, automatically approved that to be
Okay.
rezoned.
Alright.
Any further discussion on this topic? Okay, on the amendment, trustee Nagel,
Aye.
trustee Zay,
Aye.
trustee Rittenhouse, trustee Labar, and mayor's an aye. Now, on the complete motion, actually changing it with that caveat now in there. You have a motion and a second on that from over this side of the room. Trustee Labar,
Aye.
trustee Rittenhouse,
Aye.
trustee Zay,
Aye.
trustee Nagel,
Yeah.
and I'm okay. Now we're good to go. It's changed contingent upon the transfer of ownership.
That makes sense.
I think that's the right thing to do, I mean,
No, it's me.
Right away.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, aren't we having fun?
so we're clicking things.
I tell ya. I have here, I apologize for not getting copies to everybody. of a service agreement with Onsell for the Dansville Historic Downtown Walking Tour. This is the one we've been working on. And the final pricing now is $900 for one-time charge to Apple, get it on the internet system, and then it's $2,390.40 for the annual charge. And if I can get a motion to approve that, I will sign off on it, and we'll hopefully have the app running in time for Labor Day weekend, contingent upon the committee finishing their work.
Is there a charge for the app, or will that be a free downloadable app?
That's a good question. My understanding is that would be free, but I can confirm that if you would like.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be paying that amount of money that
Oh,
I'm gonna see them
absolutely.
turn around and whack a
My understanding it is
$5.99
free, but I can get a hold of the gentleman first thing in the morning to confirm that. I won't do anything until such time as I have that confirmed. If I get an approval, it'll be contingent upon that.
Now, let's say in the first year we find out that has maybe there's not as many people that use it as we thought. Do we have the ability to say next year, will they send you a bill, or is it an automatic payment, or what? Like, let's say it doesn't produce the amount of volume that we were thinking. Will we know that?
There is a counter to it.
All right, so we'll be able to tell whether it is, and it's not an automatic, like we're dialed in for 10 years or whatever.
No.
Yeah, I think it might take a couple of years to catch on.
Yeah, but like, let's say next year they have 3 people that sign on, and we go, well, 3 people might not be, what the,
24.
Hopefully I get the committee to take at least 5 of us.
I'm not saying the first year, because we're all gonna do it.
Well, part of it will also have to be some publication of it, at least locally, and maybe in some of the surrounding, what do you call it? Media, as well as putting it on our own website. There'll be a connection on that too once this is all up and running. So I need a motion to approve.
I make the motion contingent that it's a free app.
Okay, I have a motion from trustee Zay. So approve contingent upon it being a free app. And trustee Nagel, I believe, just seconded.
Yes.
Okay, further discussion?
We budgeted, it's budgeted, right?
Yes, it is. Considerably more, actually, so we got a little bit of money left over,
Doesn't
maybe.
mean I'm not a fight that.
Don't worry. Don't say that in front of Scott.
No, I'll keep an eye on this one.
Paper clips.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, trustee Labar?
Aye.
Trustee Rittenhouse?
Aye.
Trustee Zay?
Aye.
Trustee Nagel? And the mayor's an aye. All right, and last, but I forgot to get this to you as well. But anyway, I did the court audit. Everything is up and up. I was just basically checking the bank book, checkbook. I just need approval to go ahead and submit it. I found no discrepancies.
So moved.
I have a motion from trustee Rittenhouse approving the audit that I conducted, actually last month.
Second.
I have a second from trustee Labar. Discussion? Okay. Trustee Nagel. Pardon me?
Discussion, yeah. I guess I lost, what's this on?
Every year I have to, or somebody has to audit the court books as far as their money goes.
That's what I thought.
Make sure that everything is on the up and up and it's not slide into somebody's pocket.
Okay.
So I check it against the court records and their checkbook.
Okay.
Or I should say their
Yep.
listing there.
Kind of thought
And-
so, but I'll make sure.
Normally, Sheila does a very good job at that. So, everything seemed to be good. Okay, so, as for the vote, trustee Nagel,
Aye.
trustee Zay,
Aye.
trustee Rittenhouse,
Aye.
trustee Labar,
Aye.
and Mayor, well, I'll abstain from this one since I did the audit.
That's a no vote.
So, Doesn't count, it's just 4-0. And with that, is there any other business that should have come in that I did not get on the agenda? Anybody can think of? Okay, I don't believe there were any action list items that were added this evening. Does anybody have any comments on any of the items that were discussed this evening? Okay, is there a need for executive session? Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
You're slow. Yes, Mr. Bonney, what can we do for you?
First, I'm glad I'm on the other side of Main Street. Secondly, Scott has done my sidewalks, trying to be done in many sidewalks, and your piecemeal, long-term monetary outlook would be very, very nice. A little bit earlier, because you're going to go on and on, long after work on
Well, I'm sure
the sidewalks.
it'll be an ongoing issue
It'd
forever.
be nice when we get caught up and kind of get square and then just address them as they come.
And thirdly, this is a wonderful social
Well, you're welcome anytime.
Very entertaining.
Okay. All right. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Not all at once. Got a motion from trustee Rittenhouse, and second from trustee LeBar. Time is 8:12. I'll make it 8:13.
That is a record.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We are adjourned.
Any idea how long it takes to that maintenance company?
Alright, that's on you guys now.
Hey, how
Put
are
you up
you?
to
Cause I
12:30 in here.
emailed Charlie the
Well,
estimate and he
yeah.
hasn't seen it yet.
Probably ought to. They'll
It
wait
was
for us, I
like
think.
almost 12
We should be able to make it. Oh, yeah, that's.
I
So they just
wrote a
decided
lot of
what,
new parts
Yeah,
on
which
it.
is all right with me, because I got plenty to do. I got
Or
one
interior
more
parts,
to go.
like an apron, the inner fender, maybe
Hi.
arms, garland, inner and outer tires. Hi.